Hey, y'all, welcome back to Empowering Real Talk. It's your girl, Coach K. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Before I get started, and let me tell you something, this conversation is about to be hmm, very raw, very unfiltered, and very uncut. So before I get started, please make sure that you have subscribed to the Upgraded MindsetZ media channel. Make sure that you are tuning in. Make sure you are favoriting on your favorite streaming platform. So if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple, and I also want to know what you thought of this episode. So once you finish out, definitely rate, review, comment, let me know what you think because I already know I'm getting to touch some nerves with this one. All right. But listen, I wouldn't be me if I didn't speak on this. And I'm not going to harp on it because I really want to just go ham, but I'm going to keep it a little key. All right. Listen, y'all. I know that some may feel like that I got the nerve to be speaking on this, but I do because I walked this journey, right? And I really want to touch base on this whole soft girl era, being a girl's girl, and really the fakeness that's coming along with that. Cause I'm definitely peeping that, right? Um, and people probably like, why do you feel people being fake? Because there are a lot of women out here who claim that they're that girl's girl and they want to empower women, but they have a very selective way of doing that. All right, so let me explain. As we know, and if this is your first episode that you've listened to Empire Real Talk, I began the journey of coaching women in June of 2020. Now, at that point I wanted to just be a life coach to women. I wanted to help them like get clear on their goals and focus on their futures because that at that time was the journey that I was on. I didn't really realize the depths of being a mindset coach and being a life coach and really helping people make the transformational changes. Now, I love where I'm at, the space that I'm at now. I'm very confident and very solid in who I serve. I work with women who want to discover what their passion is, who wants to amplify their purpose in life, who wants to be more intentional, who wants to be passionate, purposeful, who wants to, update and elevate their performances and just become an overall better version of themselves personally, but also as an entrepreneur. Because who I serve are women who are either in the visionary stages of entrepreneurship and they are wanting to get clear on who they want to serve, right? Now, I have really come a lot across a lot of women, and I say it all the time. If the walls of UPM could talk, baby, I'd have a whole expose going on around here. But one thing that the conversations are similar in is women who feel like that they don't really have the support. Somebody will tell them that they support them, but their actions are not showing it. I've been hearing these words trending lately. Girls girl, soft girl era. Um and it is what it is. I really didn't think too much about it, right? But then I started seeing and having conversations with people who are like, yeah, she say she want to be a girl's girl, but she don't even speak to people when she see them. Or she look at people and roll her eyes and she a mean girl. And I was like, Now, I heard it from one person and, that could have been their experience. So I was like, we discussed it and kept it pushing. But then I heard it again and it was like, okay, I need to pay attention to this, right? And then I heard it again. Now, it wasn't the same individual that they were talking about, but the people that were talking to me, their experiences were the same. So that causes conversation because who these individuals are that they were speaking about were individuals who may have had like a brunch, a woman's empowerment brunch, or they wanted to get a bunch of women together and do some type of event, right? And I'm like, damn, is it that bad? And I had to look at myself like, is that something that I do? So it was a self-reflective moment, but I know I'm very authentic. I know my words is raw and uncut, and I don't sugarcoat that, right? But one thing that no one can say that I do is I'm hateful. No one can't say that I'm not genuine. Even when you don't want to hear what I got to say, you can't say that I'm not genuine in my conversation, right? So after I had that reflection, I was like, let's do some research. I know that there are a lot of women out here who are doing events, hosting events, claiming women empowerment. But baby, when you is simply in a store, you will not speak to your fellow woman. You will literally walk right past somebody. And this has happened to me, right? But because I be in my zone, I didn't give it too much thought. But once I started having these conversations, I really started paying attention more. And there's a lot of y'all fake women out here. And I said what I said. There's a lot of y'all fake women out here who claim to be empowering women and want to uplift women. But I feel like you doing that for the trend of it. It's just my experience and it's just what I see. Because there's no way that you can tell me that you want to empower women and uplift women, but something as simple as passing a woman in the store and you can't speak, especially if you make eye contact. Why do y'all do that? You can literally make eye contact with somebody and will not speak. That is what's instilled in me, right? If I see somebody and we lock eyes for a hot second, I'm a wave, I'm a smile, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna keep it pushing. That doesn't mean that I need to come and have a whole hour-long conversation with you, but I'm being cordial because we've exchanged eyes, right? We've seen each other. I don't have to know you to do that. You don't have to know somebody to give a salutation. Hey, how you doing? Keep it pushing. And a lot of y'all don't do that. A lot of y'all are mean girls hiding under the women empowerment umbrella. I have had people come to me telling me about events that they have gone to. The host is a bitch. And it's been multiple people that's told me that. Keep in mind, I don't only talk and I don't only have clients locally because I don't want people that may be listening locally to be like, "Ooh, who's she talking about?" I have clients in 10 states. So I just want y'all to be mindful of that. But if I'm speaking about the community here in my city, I'm speaking about that. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but I just wanted to put that context in there. I am not limited to my city when it comes to serving. All right. But a lot of y'all are bitches. One came to me and was like, yeah, she was hosting this and she wouldn't even speak to nobody. Like she came in, she didn't address anybody. She just came and sat at her spot. And then when it was time to network and stuff, she was nowhere to be found. How are you a host of an event and you're not hosting? Or you with your clique of people? You got two or three different people that you might be at an event with, and you're like not engaging with anybody else. Please explain to me what's empowering about that. When I have hosted events in the past, I make sure that I come and address everybody. Hey, how you doing? How's everything going? Whether I know them or I don't. I have been blessed enough to host virtual events, in-person events, but one thing nobody's going to never say that I do is not acknowledge them. How are you claiming that you're empowering women, but you won't even acknowledge other women? Y'all got that mean girl behavior that y'all trying to wrap around. Oh, I love uplifting women. Who? Who? Because your track record ain't showing that. Your actions ain't reflecting that. Okay? Let's just put it out there. Women empowerment is deeper than us going and networking at an event. Women empowerment is you seeing your fellow woman on the street and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Somebody you see that may have on a dress that you like. "Oh, girl, you look good in that dress. That dress is cute." Somebody approached me. I had braids in my hair a couple weeks ago. They was like, "Ooh, I love how you got your hair twisted up. Thank you." That is women empowerment. Not you just with your same clique of 3 or 4 people, but claiming that you empowering all women, but you won't even speak to the other women. You only speak with your clique. If you are in any form of networking spaces, if you're hosting events, you're having events, are you showing up for other people's events? Like, are you supporting other women? Do I say that you have to support everything all the time? No, because I don't. I'm very purposeful in that, and I get it. There are so many things that go on. I would love to be at everything, but I know realistically that's just not the case. But you know what? Those that know that I'm truly supportive to them, I might not be able to come to their event, but guess what? They're going to hear from me. Hey, just checking on you. How you doing? Or I'm going to share their event. Hey, send me the details of what you got going on. I may not be available, but I'll, share it on the UPM page. I use that page for promotion purposes, especially locally. I'm going to extend some form of support because that is my way of empowering you, of uplifting you, of giving you the confidence to promote your product, your event, or your service. How are you empowering anybody when you're not doing that? How are you empowering and encouraging and uplifting and someone that may even look up to you, right? They may even look up to you and you not even speaking to them. Make that make sense to me. How are you empowering anything? How are you a girl's girl when you don't even acknowledge another girl when you may be in the space with them? And I heard somebody say something recently, and I really think that this is true. Um, some women are only girls when they feel like they can benefit. Some women are only girls when they feel like that they may benefit from somebody that they are supporting. Because if you are truly, and if it's truly in you to be that person that empowers and uplifts, there doesn't have to be a transaction behind that. And some of y'all are transactional in y'all women empowerment. I had to speak on this. I felt like I would be doing myself a disservice, but also the women who feel so the same as what I'm talking about. That is a level of discouragement. Going to an event, somebody's hosting an event and they are coming to maybe get some tips to hear about how you've been successful, whether it's on personal development, whether it's on entrepreneurial development. And baby, you give them a cold energy vibe. I went to an event a couple of weeks ago. I traveled 2 hours for this event. And when I tell you that it just wasn't the vibe that I thought it was going to be, like people just wasn't speaking, you was going to vendor tables and they just looking at you crazy. I'm coming to support your business. How are you not even acknowledging me? You sitting on your phone while I'm looking at your products. Tell me about your products or your service. Like that. Hey, I'm getting into the entrepreneurial side of things, but that's just me. To me, I'm in a space with women and I'm looking for that empowerment. I'm looking for that uplifting, that support, and it just wasn't there. And I didn't stay the whole time. I'm not even gonna lie. It just wasn't there for me. But I made the attempt. I still was myself. Hey, how you doing? I got some feedback from some ladies, but baby, some of them was like, why do y'all do that? Why do y'all be in spaces where y'all don't want to speak? If you don't want to speak to people, why are you at networking events? Why are you there in a room with 30, 40, 50 other people? If you're not going to network, why are you there? Listen, I could sit here and rant and rant and rant about this. But of course, I always want to give some form of solution when I'm having these kind of conversations, right? So listen, you do have to know your tribe. You do have to get in alignment with your tribe. Everybody is not meant to support you, uplift you, empower you, encourage you. It's up to you to figure out who is destined to do what. It's also up to you to be mindful of yourself enough to know when you are in a space where people are supportive versus catty. when you are in spaces where they are uplifting versus negative. Stop trying to just be in spaces because of who people are, because everybody is not genuine in their motives. They're not genuine in their conversations. And you've got to be self aware of yourself enough to know that that ain't the space for you. Stop being a situational girl, and stop trying to be around situational girls. That whole girls, I think it's a trend, to be honest. It's a trending word. We see a lot of trending words going on around here. I personally feel like it's a trending word. Because I walk this journey every day, I don't need a definitive term to describe it. Because, baby, one thing it is, it's my character. It's who I am. I want to see every woman win, whether they are a client, whether they used to be a client, whether they went and worked with somebody else, whether they can't stand me. I don't care, because my character wants to see everybody win. Your win may not be with me, and I swear I'm okay with that. But as long as you're doing what you got to do, that is a success. We are in the times where we need true support in our team, on our team, whether it's for personal development, self-development, entrepreneurial development. We need a well-rounded space where we know we are going to be uplifted, celebrated, and elevated. It's funny that I say that, right? Because by the time you listen to this video, or the time you listen to this podcast, because it's video and audio, y'all know that. But by the time you listen to this, there will be a brand new, well, I'll say a relaunched program that I will be offering exclusively for my ladies, my women who want to be in true spaces of growth, gratitude, resilience, opportunity, wellness, transformation, happiness. Because, baby, it's all about that. And if you knew that you could be in a space that was going to give you the tools you needed to grow, if you knew that that was going to give you the tools to know that you were being fully supported, you were being educated, you were getting resources, you had a private community of other women who, just like you, want that overall support, you going to get in? I hope so. Because growth over everything will be available to you. The link to get involved will be in the podcast description notes. I want you to take a look at the program, and I want you to reach out if you have any questions. Because the one thing about it, ain't no trends over here. It's real growth and elevation. If you are somebody who can relate to this episode, and you like, you know what, I went to an event and the energy just wasn't there, or I spoke to somebody and they didn't speak back, it's not you, it's them. And I want you to be okay with that. But don't give up in finding your tribe and finding the real empowerment that you seek, because it's definitely out there. And I challenge you to join Growth Over Everything and learn more about what real empowerment looks like, what real support looks like, what it looks like to be celebrated, what it looks like for you to have all of these things, the tools, the resources, the master classes, the live chat community, to help you better yourself, and know that you got a team of other women who are there to help you make that happen. We don't have to settle for the fake girls. We don't have to settle for the fake empowerment. There are real women out here who are ready to support you in every single endeavor that you want to go on. But you got to be intentional in making that happen for you. So listen, enough about these fake girls, all right? It's time for us to get actionable in elevating us and being around real empowerment. Make sure you have subscribed to the Upgraded MindsetZ Media channel. Make sure you have subscribed to the Empowering Real Talk podcast. And again, I want to know what you thought of this episode. Have you experienced this before? Is this something that you have gone through? Somebody you know have gone through it? Because it's way more common than it should be. And I want to break that. All right. Share this with a friend. Let me know what you think. Stay empowered, baby. I appreciate you for tuning in. Once a space for inspiration, growth over everything has evolved into something far greater, a movement for education, empowerment, and elevation for women. Here, gratitude isn't just a concept, it's a way of life. Strength isn't just spoken about, it's cultivated. Success isn't just imagined, it's achieved. This is where balance, self-care, and transformation take center stage, where you don't just dream about growth, you step boldly into it. No limits, no hesitation, just elevation. Join the movement today.